Hello class, now in this lecture we will see the construction and working of the disc brake. Further we will see the type of disc brake on the basis of their way of actuation. Okay, and way of actuation means the pattern of actuation. Okay, after that we will see the very important and most essential valve which is used in case of the hydraulic braking system, that is a combination valve which consists of metering valve, pressure differential valve, and our proportioning valve. Okay, so by combining these three valve, it is called as a combination valve. Okay, so this is uh, this is the thing which is very essential in case of our hydraulic braking system. Okay, so we will see first of all construction of the disc brake. In the picture we can see here is an open view of the disc brake assembly. Okay, so we will see one by one name of the parts. This is called as a backplate. This outer thing is nothing but the backplate. As we have seen in case of the drum brake, there is a backplate which holding a shoe liner. After that, parking brakes assembly, self-adjusting screw assembly. Okay, but here backplate is not holding any kind of accessories or the part of the braking system. It is just a protecting plate which is present in case of the disc brake. Okay, so it protect the disc brake from the contamination, or rotor of the disc brake from the contamination. Rest of the thing, rest of the work, nothing meant to say कि no work is other than it take care for the disc brake system. Okay, and because of that only the whatever the backplate is present or used in case of the disc brake is not strengthened as that much which is used in case of the drum brake system. Okay, and now here this is a hub. Specifically this is a rotor which is a part of the hub only. So this is a hub, wheel hub we can say, on which your wheel supposed to be mounted, and this wheel hub is mounted on the stub axle. Okay, so these are the studs is coming out of it. Okay, so this wheel hub is different part. Okay, and on the stub axle it is mounted specifically. Okay, so those are the bolts which is coming out of from the stub axle on which your wheel supposed to be mounted. Okay, so whenever wheel is rotated, that time hub is rotated and the stub axle also rotating and the rotor also rotating. So to grab the rotor to stop the road wheel, there is a caliper is mounted over the rotor. So these are the caliper. This green color portion is the caliper. Okay, this is your rotor with hub. Okay, and this your wheel supposed to be mounted on the wheel hub. Okay, so and this is a caliper which is mounted over the disc or rotor, you can say. Inside the caliper there is a blue color part is indicating nothing but the brake pads, and behind the brake pad there is a pistons. So not necessary only behind the one brake pad there is a piston. In case behind the all the brake pad there may be a piston, but it depends what type of caliper it is it is there in use in case of the display, whether it is a floating caliper, whether it is a fixed caliper, or whether it is a swinging caliper. Okay, so right now the caliper which is shown in the figure is nothing but the floating type caliper. Okay, so because of that only behind the one side of pad only piston is there, and behind the piston there is a blue color, sky blue color fluid, hydraulic fluid is there. So that hydraulic fluid is used as a working medium to actuate the brake over here. So this is a construction, how it how what is a it is a basic construction. Okay, of the floating. Now we'll see that for the type of the disc brake. So there are basically three type of disc brake is there. One is a sliding caliper type, fixed caliper type, and the swinging caliper type. Means on the basis of the type of this caliper. Okay, with the nature of movement of the caliper, on the basis of nature of movement of caliper we are categorized as a three types: sliding caliper type, fixed caliper type, and the swinging caliper type. So the first, as shown in the this slide, is nothing but the sliding caliper type of your braking system. So here you can see the working of it. This disc is rotating As soon as disc as soon as brake pedal is pressed, that time the piston is moving further in forward direction and rotor gets stopped. Okay, but rotor gets stopped because of the squeezing action of rotor in between these two pads. So this is a brake pad, this is a brake pad. Okay, so first of all, if you observe properly, first of all, this side move, the piston side pad get move towards the rotor. First of all, as soon as it get in contact with the rotor, okay, against this rotor with the further movement of piston, another side of pad get attracted toward the rotor, or pull toward the rotor. So the sliding action of the caliper is take place to grab the rotor in between these two pads. So hence it is called as a sliding caliper type disc brake system. Okay, here one thing is need to be noticed over, there is a rubber seal which is used over the piston. This rubber seal is here working as a retaining spring, which is used in case of the drum brake, as well as it is used to seal the oil at behind the piston. Okay, it having a two function. First function, once the brake pedal is released, that rubber seal helps to pull back piston backward. Okay, and the second thing, keep the oil behind the piston only. If this oil come in front of the piston, then disc brake will not be applied the, or not capable to stop the vehicle. Okay, because the coefficient of friction will changes, and the pad start to slipping on the rotor. So for the sealing purpose and to behave as a retaining member, the seal plays very important role. Okay, second thing, the pad of the disc brake is always in a contact with the rotor, even though you have not applied the brake pedal. That time also, the some in some portion, the pad always having contact with the rotor. It is situated very near to rotor. Okay, slight contact is there. Okay, so this is the thing we have to remember while discussing a combination valve. Second, another thing, if you observe properly, the rotor having a hollow structure over here. So these are the fins which is used in the rotor to cool it quickly. Okay, as I told you, the pad is slightly having contact with the rotor, so there is a continuous friction is there. So to cool this rotor quicker, there is a fin structure is there. Okay, because of that, the anti-fading characteristic of this braking system get increases. Now we'll see the fixed type. Now in case of the fixed type, you can directly notice there are two moving pads is there. In the previous one, only one moving pad is there. This pad was only moving, and this pad was stationary, because this pad was moving because it behind this pad there is a piston. So due to piston movement take place, due to the movement of the piston, pad get moved, and after that caliper get moved. This piston is fixed, this pad is fixed. But here in the fixed caliper type, both pad are traveling at the same time towards the rotor or the disc. Okay, and behind the both pad there is a piston, and behind both piston there is a hydraulic pressure applied by the हाइड्रोलिक ब्रेकिंग सिस्टम. सो प्रेशराइज ऑयल जो होता है वो दोनों पिस्टन के बिहाइंड पे एक्ट होने वाला है, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट ओनली बोथ द पिस्टन एट द सेम टाइम विल travel towards the rotor, and at the same time both pads squeeze the rotor in between them. Okay, so the actuation of this type of the braking system is very quicker as compared to this one, because there is a step by step actuation is there. First of all, this pad get in contact with the rotor. After against the contact with the further movement of piston, this pad get pulled towards the rotor, and after that grabbing action is take place. But here at the same time both the pad get moving towards your rotor, and at the same time it grab the rotor and stop the wheel. Okay, so because of that, their quick response, such a type of caliper are used, such type of braking caliper are used in case of the racing vehicle where braking efficiency need to be effective, okay, or it should be a more. So this is a fixed caliper type. Now swinging caliper type, as we have seen, यहाँ हमारा caliper sliding हो रहा था. Similarly, in case of the swinging caliper type, the one of the pad is moving and one of the pad is fixed, and there is a one pivot which is a pivot across which this caliper supposed to be swing, okay, and the pad, the surface of the pad is not flat in swinging depth, it having some inclinations, some angle, okay. So that is a swinging caliper type. The action of the caliper is take place like swinging about the one pin or one fulcrum, but that is no more used in case of the automobiles. We are only using the sliding caliper type and the फिक्स्ड कैलिपर टाइप. फिक्स्ड कैलिपर टाइप हम यूज़ करते हैं जहां हमें मैक्स क्विक रिस्पॉन्स चाहिए, ब्रेकिंग एफिशिएंसी बहुत ही ज़्यादा चाहिए, एंड कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव नहीं रहा तो भी चलेगा, बट जहां हमें कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव चाहिए एंड ब्रेकिंग एफिशिएंसी इज ऑल्सो not that much important, or braking response not that much important, in such cases we are using a sliding caliper type. Again, we can increase a number of piston also. So here you can see at the cross section single piston is used. You can see there are some caliper where we are using a number of pistons, okay, behind one pad. Similarly, on the another side also number of pistons are there, 3 piston, 2 pistons, or single piston. So depending on the number of piston behind the pad you are keeping to apply a pressure, the cost of the caliper is increases, okay. So this is the working of it. Now the most important part of the hydraulic braking system is the valve. So this is the valve which is used in case of our hydraulic braking system. This is called as a combination valve, and the combination valve consists of 3 different valves. One is the first is the metering valve, second is the pressure differential valve, and third is the proportioning valve, okay. So metering valve we will see. The metering valve is a section of the combination valve required on cars that have a disc brake on the front wheel and drum brake on the rear wheels. मतलब normally जो passenger cars होते हैं almost they are having a disc brake at front and the drum brake at the rear. So as I told you कि जो भी हमारा disc brake के pad होते हैं it making always it keeping it the pad of the disc brake is making always it is always in contact with your rotor, okay. So because of that, whenever we are applying the disc brake, that time what happen, जो भी हमारा disc brake का pad है which is always having some amount of contact with the disc brake disc, so it will grab a disc quicker as that of the drum liner, okay, which is located at the rear wheels. So अगर front brake का ब्रेक फ्रंट व्हील को अगर ब्रेक फर्स्ट पहले लग गया और रेयर व्हील को उसके बाद में लगेगा, सो बिकॉज ऑफ दैट देयर इज द चांसेस ऑफ loss of stability or the loss of directional stability of the vehicle at that high speed. So to keep a directional stability attainable and to control the vehicle properly at the high speed, we need to take care that कि जो हमारा फ्रंट व्हील में अप्लाई होने वाला ब्रेक है वो पहले ना लगे, उससे पहले हमारा रेयर व्हील में जो brake system है वो एक्चुएट हो. So as I told you, in case of the drum brake, the retaining spring is there which holding the liner or which holding the liner at their place that is away from the drum. So to actuate a liner for before the disc brake, we have to supply a hydraulic pressure first of all to the rear wheels, okay. And whenever rear wheels we are supplying the pressure hydraulic pressure to the rear wheels, that time the pressure should be supplied to rear wheels till that point जब तक retaining spring को के force को overcome करके liner not reaches to at near to drum. till that point तक हमें प्रेशर जो है उसके rear wheel को सप्लाई करना है. Once liner reaches at sufficient distance from sufficient distance to at a sufficient location from the drum, at that instant we can ready to supply that pressure to the front wheels also, which holding a disc brake assembly. So because of that क्या होगा कि हमारा जो लाइनर है वो डिस्क ब्रेक की तरह, जो डिस्क ब्रेक में जो पैड है in that way near to rotor और ड्रम के केस में नियर टू ड्रम लोकेटेड हो गया होगा. So because of that both wheel, that front wheels and the rear wheels, can get braking action very approximately uh, approximately at the same time. Okay, so because of that क्या होगा, हमें जो भी directional stability at the high speed that get not lose by the driver. Okay, and driver can get easy control, or driver get effective control on the vehicle while applying braking at the high speed. So such a type of wall is very essential when we are using a hydraulic braking system with front discs and the rear drum brake configuration. Okay, so it just holding a front braking system for a moment. First of all, it applying that pressure to the rear wheels till the liner are not reaches at the sufficient distance from the drum. Once liner is reaches to sufficient distance to the from the drum, then it also allow to apply the hydraulic pressure to the front wheels also, and after that both wheels get approximately applied at the same time. Okay, so this is the metering ball. After that, pressure differential switch. So if you observe here, there are number of lines are coming out from this walls. Okay, combination walls. So this is a line which is going to the front brake line. Okay, this is the front brake line, these two are the front brake line, and this one is the rear brake line. So this is the front brake line of left side, or this is the front brake line of right side, and this is the rear brake line, and this rear brake line further get, this is the front rear brake line, and at this end also you can see there's another rear brake line is going. Okay, so this is a rear brake line, and this one is a rear, and this is a input line which is input from the master cylinder. So the pressure differential wall switch is very important. This is a just an indicative switch. The working of the objective of this switch is to just inform the driver. Okay, so what happened, there are lines, the line which is going to the front wheels and the line which is going to the rear wheels. Okay, or depend what kind of split system is there, whether the axle to axle split system is there or diagonal split system is there. If diagonal split system is there, then there is the line for the diagonal wheels are going from one circuit, and in case of the axle, the axle by axle line is different. Okay, so what is the main thing of this pressure differential switch is it it observe or it monitor a pressure difference in between those two circuit. For example, front एक्सल को जो हाइड्रोलिक सर्किट जा रहा है, हाइड्रोलिक लाइन जा रही है, एंड रेयर एक्सल को जो हाइड्रोलिक लाइन जा रही है टू स्टॉप, दैट इज फॉर ब्रेकिंग पर्पस हाइड्रोलिक, इन दो लाइन में जो भी प्रेशर डिफरेंस है वो मॉनिटर करने का काम दिस प्रेशर डिफरेंशियल स्विच करता है. सो इफ one of the line going to the front axle and the rear axle, okay, इन दोनों में डिफरेंस आ गया प्रेशर का, so it means that there is a leakage, there is a leak. Because of that only the pressure get dropped at that respective line. Okay, and as soon as that difference is occur, it will illuminate one light on the dashboard which indicating there is a leakage occur in hydraulic braking system. Okay, and for that purpose there is a simple one, very simple thing is there, very simple mechanism is there. I, I show you. अरे sorry, this is the better, this one is better. Okay, so suppose there is a, here is a 1 bar pressure and here is also 1 bar pressure. So if there at both side of the chamber, if 1 bar pressure is there, so because of that this piston will not move here or here, it will keep at the center position only. Okay, it will remain at a center position only. For example, if there is a, if I draw one circuit over here, okay, and suppose there is a one bulb is over here, this is a bulb, consider this is a bulb, and this piston having earth, okay, at the same time it having a sliding moment. So and this is a, and this bulb is connected to the positive terminal. For example, this is a positive terminal of it, both side. Okay, it is connected to the positive and this is nothing but the negative terminal. So whenever this chamber is having 1 bar hydraulic pressure and this is also 1 bar hydraulic pressure, that time what will happen, the piston will remain at a center. As soon as the pressure of this chamber get down because of leakage, okay, so if it reaches to 0.5 bar, okay, and it is 1 bar, then due to the high pressure of this side, piston will move in this direction, and it will touches to this side of your, it will touches like this, and as soon as it touches to this side of positive terminal of the lamp, due to the circuit completion negative and positive, this lamp get illuminate. So driver come to know that one side of the hydraulic braking system get leak. After that, if 0.5 bar pressure get here and here is the 1 bar pressure, so due to the pressure difference, this piston start to move in this direction, and it will touch to this terminal. So again circuit get complete positive and negative, again this light get illuminate on the dashboard. So this thing is happen whenever pressure differential switch is there, and pressure differential switch is just used to monitor the condition of your braking system or hydraulic lines. Okay, so it is just informing the driver. Now we'll see the another thing, that is proportioning valve. Now, proportioning valve is the valve which proportionate the hydraulic pressure. Okay, simply if 1,000 pound psi pressure is generated by hydraulic system, then out, out of 1,000 psi, for example, how much proportion is conveyed to the front axles and how much proportionate is conveyed to the rear axle, or वो diagonal split section अगर है तो 50-50% it will convey. But if you एक्सेल टू एक्सेल split system है आपका braking system में, then it will proportionate in the depending on the लोड कौन से व्हील पे ज़्यादा होने वाला है while ब्रेकिंग एक्शन हम ले रहे हैं उस टाइम पे. फॉर एग्जांपल जब व्हील हम ब्रेकिंग एक्शन अप्लाई करते हैं, ब्रेक पेडल अप्लाई करते हैं, दैट टाइम मैक्सिमम वेट ऑफ द व्हीकल इज शिफ्टेड टू द फ्रंट व्हील, और द डायरेक्शन, जिस डायरेक्शन में व्हीकल मूव हो रहा है उस डायरेक्शन में जो व्हील है उस व्हील पे, उस एक्सेल पे हमारा व्हीकल का मैक्सिमम वेट शिफ्ट होता है. सो जितना ज़्यादा वेट उस पर्टिकुलर एक्सेल पे आने वाला है ऑन दैट बेसिस उतना ज़्यादा hydraulic pressure or the braking pressure we have to supply to that axle. This is the thing. So because of that, in case of the domestic vehicle or the passenger vehicle, the front axles are loaded more, but in case of the commercial vehicle there are the लोड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन इज टेक प्लेस, जहाँ पे ज़्यादा गुड्स या जहाँ ज़्यादा लोड ऐड किया है, मल्टी एक्सल व्हीकल होता है फॉर एग्जांपल, उसमें जिस एक्सेल पे ज़्यादा लोड ऐड है उस एक्सेल के नीचे देयर इज अ लोड सेंसिंग प्रोपोर्शनिंग वॉल इज देयर. ओके, सो ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ load sensed by that wall, the braking pressure guided to that road, that particular axle is changes. But in case of there we are using a load sensing proportioning wall, but here in case of the domestic or the passenger vehicle we are having the fixed proportioning wall, which set at fixed proportion, that is the maximum hydraulic pressure is introduced or conveyed to the front wheels rather than the rear wheels, because in case of the passenger vehicle maximum weight is shifted to the front wheels, engine is located at the front, and the very few load is acted on the rear, even though whenever we are applying the brake that time also the load added to the rear axle gets shifted to the front axle. So because of that the proportioning wall is proportionating the maximum braking pressure at the front axle rather than the rear axle. Okay, so if 1000 psi force is there, is introduced by the braking system or developed by the braking system, out of that 700 psi pressure is applied on the rear axle and the 1000 psi pressure is low applied on the front axle. Okay, so such proportioning wall is set at the 70% efficiency, or it is set it or calibrated at the 70%. matlab so out of 1000 psi 70% only conveyed to the rear axle and the 100% is conveyed to the front axle. So in that way 1000 psi is conveyed to the front axle and the 700 psi conveyed to the rear axle. So ये क्यों लग रहा है, क्योंकि जिस एक्सेल पे ज़्यादा वेट आ रहा है एट द ब्रेकिंग एक्शन, ड्यूरिंग द ब्रेकिंग एक्शन, उस व्हीकल को ग्रैब करने के लिए ज़्यादा ब्रेकिंग प्रेशर लगने वाला है. सो टू ग्रैब दैट व्हील ऑफ दोज एक्सेल वी रिक्वायर्ड अ हायर प्रेशर. ओके, so this is the thing, and that grabbing should take place without locking of the wheel. ओके, मीन्स ऐसा हो रहा है कि इस पर्टिकुलर व्हील पे लोड उतना आ नहीं रहा है, फिर भी वी आर यूजिंग 100% डेवलप प्रेशर टू ग्रैब दैट रोड व्हील्स, देन दैट रोड व्हील्स गेट लॉक. ओके, वो रोड व्हील्स क्या हो जाएगा, लॉक हो जाएगा, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट स्कीडिंग विल टेक प्लेस. सो उसी व्हील को 100% लो ब्रेकिंग प्रेशर दो जिस व्हील पे लोड ज़्यादा है. So because of that braking is take place without locking the wheel. Okay, so this is the main objective behind the proportioning wall, कि उसी व्हील को हमें ग्रैब करना है 100% प्रेशर से जिस व्हील पे लोड ज़्यादा होता है. अदरवाइज अगर हम उस अननेसेसरी उस पर लोड नहीं आ रहा है, देन ऑल्सो वी आर यूजिंग द 100% प्रेशर टू ग्रैब दैट रोड व्हील, then definitely that road wheels get locked and the vehicle supposed to be skid, means without rolling of the vehicle, rolling of the road wheels, the wheel get start to skidding. Okay, and vehicle become uncontrollable. So this is the thing हम proportioning wall use करते हैं. एंड जो बड़े कंटेनर्स होते हैं मल्टी एक्सल व्हीकल्स, behind every axle there is the load sensing proportioning wall use होता है. Okay, on the basis of the load acted or located on that respective axle, it proportionate their braking pressure. Okay, so this is the load sensing proportioning wall they are using. I hope you have understood the thing which have you discussed in this lecture. Thank you.